So are we doing this live or just on record?
No, it's live, but we record it because then I have to.
Oh, no, that's great.
Hi guys, we're back. Yeah, it's only been a year and how long? How many months has it been? 14 months? 15 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in a wheelchair still.
COVID held us up as well quite a lot.
COVID, yeah. So Jeff, which we're going to get this up here more so you can actually see Jeff. And you're seeing my face.
Hello.
There we go. And we're in our own bubble here at our home because Jeff and Katie and the kids live upstairs and I live downstairs. So we're in our own bubble here. So we're safe. We don't need to mask it up. I'm just adjusting because being in a wheelchair is really fun, you guys. But I'm only in the wheelchair temporarily. So, all right. And we have Miss Ellie, which you can't see, who's on the floor. Going, is there food?
There will be.
Go sit down. All right, and today we're doing collagen.
Yeah, just
Ellie,
an introduction, as it were.
Yeah. I'm going to come in behind here.
Right.
Okay, what do you need? Anything else?
I just need a large pot of stock. We're just really making a bone broth.
The stock pot's down below.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's that one, or you want to use the red one?
The steamer. Steaming.
Got a steamer.
Very good. Yeah.
I use that for pasta and
Pasta, steaming, everything.
yeah. I think it's
I don't need the pot.
yeah.
Fine.
Wouldn't be in there.
A little dusty.
Dusty, yeah. The dusty
In
people.
a while since
Dusty.
we worked in cooking going on.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, we're talking about collagen and how it's good for you.
Yes, very good for you.
There's a collagen diet that has very few cons, except if you take collagen supplements, you can take too much.
Right.
There is a warning about taking collagen tablets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? What happens?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But I remember just been saying.
So look that up.
Just be aware that collagen supplements can have negative effects.
And so remember, everybody, even though you can't see me, hopefully you can hear me.
I'm looking at Kat. That's why you should.
Yeah. That whenever you start any new nutritional or exercise program, any new type of protocol, you want to make sure that you're also you're consulting your traditional healthcare practitioner to make sure it's okay for you. And that's what Jeff's talking about right here. If you're using a collagen supplement in a pill form and you begin to start adding more collagen into your diet, you want to consult and make sure you're not getting too much collagen. So we don't really know why, but that's
No, I could look it up, but so can you.
I could. I probably could.
No, I mean, so can you. Wow. Everyone can look it up as to why collagen supplements may not be the best.
What do we got here? This looks really good.
Well, I got a few odds and sods. I got some chicken from a free-range chicken that we roasted for Thanksgiving. Being a
Nice.
small family, we didn't do the turkey. Also, I did 150 turkey dinners at work, so.
You know where we went for turkey dinner?
Where did you go?
White Swaps.
Oh, good for you. That's pretty good, though.
It was really good. Yeah. The pumpkin pie was delicious.
Ah.
Yeah.
I can eat pumpkin pie.
You can't?
I can eat it if it's keto
Oh.
or low carb, but I can't eat it if it's got the high sugar.
No, this was bad for me.
Keeping my sugar levels down has been amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No carbohydrate, low sugar. Been amazing for me.
Yeah, me too. So
Change the way I live.
I'm on gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and
That's a restriction diet, though. That's not necessarily what you have to be on forever, right?
I do.
You do?
For the antiviral stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, for the antiviral. Because I'm in a chair, guys. Well, one, there's trauma. I blew a fuse in my brain to my legs. It's all reversible. But also, I had severe viral overloads of Epstein-Barr virus and the cytomegalovirus. And we had to take the gluten, the dairy, the eggs, because viruses feed on eggs, guys. They feed on eggs. And so if instead of eggs, you can do sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, they're antiviral, and or avocado. Those are the supplements. If you're
they use egg white as a culture.
What's that?
In the laboratories, they use egg white as a culture for growing viruses and bacteria.
Yeah.
Egg white is a culture.
Yeah, because it's like
it's a complete meal for them.
Happy dappy.
But if you don't have viral problems, right?
if you don't.
Then egg white is also a very healthy option.
Absolutely.
So
I'm
high
totally with you.
protein, very low,
Yes.
low carbohydrate, high
Yeah.
protein,
Yeah.
all to go through. So
Yeah.
if you don't have viral problems, well, by all means,
Yeah.
this is going to help
because
you as
the
well, right?
Epstein-Barr virus goes at your myelin sheaths in your nervous system.
Yeah.
But we also discovered, because I use an osteopath as well as neurologist, I've got the whole gamut. The last time he did his ET scan, because I kept saying it was ancestral, he found this ancestral component. I don't know, it's called loose something. I can't remember what it is. And he said it causes nerve damage, it causes all these different things. And he went in and went, oh yeah, it's all there. So I'm on a new protocol now that will also help. It's still, he said, it doesn't negate the trauma of the blown fuse, but it's just putting all the combinations with the food, making sure the food's out.
Right.
This protocol, these tiny little, weeny little tablet pills I'm on. And then I need a neuropsych to zip out the trauma in my brain, and then the neurologist and the rehabilitation doctors to get the rest of me going.
Yeah. But
and collagen's important.
you live a healthy lifestyle beforehand. So
I'm really healthy.
Your healthy lifestyle and your overall mental health and physical health is all good. So that's helping you in this particular situation.
It's a positive attitude, but they can't believe my blood work because I'm on no medications. When they did all my blood work, they were like, how is it possible? Because I'm 65 now. You got the blood work of a 20-year-old. So healthy before, but now healthier.
Yeah.
Like even healthier.
You look the same age as me, and I'm 54.
Oh, really? Well, thanks. That's good to know. I'm trying to move myself back to 45. Ageless thrival, people. But collagen is critical because we start losing collagen as we get older. We don't produce the same.
We do, but we make the collagen.
Yeah,
right. And so eating collagen will not give you collagen.
Right.
Right. Eating collagen will give you the building blocks your body needs to
make.
It may not make collagen out of that collagen.
Yeah.
You may eat like 6 gallons of bone broth and your body turns it into something completely different. It doesn't give you collagen. That might happen, right? Depends on what your body feels it needs.
Exactly.
Really what it does. But that being said, without those building blocks, it cannot make collagen.
No.
So it does need them.
And
you don't have to, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't have to eat meat to get your collagen either, right?
So what would you use?
Garlic, bright colored vegetables,
right?
cruciferous veg like broccoli and that. Right. Those your body will turn into collagen.
So you would make a vegetable type of broth?
You can make a vegetable broth too. Yes.
And that would work to help your body. So
obviously, if you're vegetarian, you could have egg white.
Right.
If you're vegan, then you'd want to go more towards the legumes and the cruciferous veg. If you cannot eat that for whatever dietary reasons, then you are going to have to consult your traditional practitioners.
Yeah, exactly.
To say, well, what can I eat?
Because I'm now.
But most 99% of people can do.
I'm like 98% plant-based now. So I have a little bit of chicken. Last night I had a little bit of turkey.
Right.
I have a little bit of chicken and a little bit of salmon, and that's it.
Right.
Although that's not true. I bought some bison the other day because I don't want to eat red meat anymore. So, but bison's red meat, but different.
Well, wild meat, right?
Yes,
wild game is healthier than.
Just because what's interesting when we talked about my blood work, they're blown away by it, and my iron was borderline. Okay. And they were going, well, and I said, that's because I don't eat red meat anymore.
Right.
And the red meat has a different iron, and you can get iron, just so you know, you can get it, but it's different, and it makes a difference. So my naturopath said, do the bison, and not all the time, but once in a blue moon. And of course, Missy over here, Ellie over here, it's like, we're having bison?
just on that perspective, from a vegan vegetarian point of view, we get beyond meat and all those kind of things, right? These products are useful, I believe, for if people have a moral or a religious view against that, but they're not products you want to eat regularly.
Right. You mean the plant-based meats?
The plant-based meats.
Yeah.
They're the same as eating hot dogs all the time, or eating anything processed. What you've basically done is you've taken a processed product, right, and they've added heme, which is basically what gives meat the flavor. Right. Heme is basically hemoglobin, the red stuff. They've made it artificially, so it's not from an animal. and they've added the flavor to
So there's chemicals in
pea
it.
protein and a whole bunch of different
Is it a chemical?
Some are chemicals, but again,
Some are natural?
yeah, your body will process them okay most of the time,
Right.
but none of it has too much.
Right.
Right. So it's okay to have a Beyond Burger once in a blue moon.
Right.
But if you're thinking of doing it because it's a healthy option, it's not.
No.
Right.
Because we've got vegetarian burgers that you can use that
In
are
fact,
fabulous.
Friends of mine who are vegan have learned to not chase meat. What they call vegan to chase meat, in other words, they want to taste what meat tastes like
Yeah.
in all these products, or cheese tastes like in all
Right.
these products, right? So they go to all these extents of making cheeses out of nuts or whatever the case is, which is great.
Yeah.
They're wonderful products. I love them. I eat them all the time.
Yeah. Cheese.
But don't try to get cheddar.
No.
If you know, there's a whole world of flavors out there. You don't need to stick to these pedantic meat-based flavors. I mean, I eat meat, so I'm not really, probably preaching to you. But the fact is, you don't need it.
No.
I eat all sorts of things. I eat vegan food and meat food.
Yeah.
My beliefs are slightly different, right?
Yeah, and that's great.
So it's okay, and I wouldn't want to knock anybody's beliefs. My beliefs is simply that I live in a wooden house, and which had to have trees chopped down.
Yeah.
Tree is a plant. Plant has more or less value than another creature. I don't know.
You and I come from the same thing. The vegetables scream as loudly as the animals because we have to honor and respect. My huge problem is the factory animal agriculture, because we don't need that. We need to get out of that, and we need to get to a more honorable, respectable, and less. We don't need to consume as much as we're consuming.
Exactly. I mean, this egg here is free range.
Yeah.
I buy free range eggs. I get my meat delivered to me from a local farm called Berryman's Farm. It's all free range meat from within a certain area.
And they look after it, right?
They look after it.
Respect it.
And not only that, there's a theory that the flavor and the value that you get out of anything, whether it's plants or meats or whatever, right, you get more out of happy plants, meats, and veggies than you do out of plants, meats, and veggies that are feeling abused
and
or have been hurt or whatever, right? There are certain chemical compounds in those two different categories or classes of foods that you will notice will affect your behavior, your sense. It may not be something that's life-threatening or even, life-diminishing, but it may be something that has the compounds in it that might make you angrier quicker or depressed easier or whatever, right? So, why do it? Why not, right? You don't need to do it.
And what you're eating, like you're just saying, is what can be reflected in your outward attitude, your outward everything, right? So, and I just found for me, just because of, the inflammation with the nervous system and just cleaning all the virals, like I'm good luck to COVID trying to get in me. Like if it comes, it's like gone, boom, so I'm lucky. I'm isolated anyway, because Handy Dart's my new limo, people. I can't drive anymore until my legs come back. But it's for me, it's been an easy transition into mostly plant-based, right? So it wasn't a big deal. And I've tried to have red meat once in a while, and my digestive system goes, no.
Yeah.
No, don't do it. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's weird. So the bison is like, okay, and I don't have it very often, but I think it's got enough of the iron, like similar iron, to keep my iron. I just wanted it. They just wanted it a little bit higher. It was perfectly okay. They just didn't want it to drop down. And I use the beetroot. Like I put that in my smoothies. How the powder, because that has got the iron in it as well, along with spinach and all that. But it's not the same as meat.
No, it's not. No. All the red pigments or in red pigments and plants and that will give you a ton of good value. Like red plants are super healthy.
I'm looking over here. It's looking
good. I just brought a few little things. I thought we're just diving back in. We'll just start with something very simple. In this pot, I have some onion, just a bit of celery, and a small carcass from our free-range chicken.
Nice.
I'm going to throw in a whole thing of garlic. I won't throw in the egg white.
Don't put it in, it's okay.
No, you can have it afterwards. That's why. So I'm going to leave the egg out so that you have your egg in.
Okay.
Right. Now, another great way to do garlic, by the way, right, is just cut the top off. Buy a bulk garlic, cut the top and just roast them all in the oven like that.
Really?
Just put them on there, put them in for half an hour at 375 degrees, whip them out and eat them. out of the. Once you cut into there, I don't know how to do it with this one.
Because garlic is so great at antiviral.
Oh, it's awesome.
Plus, it keeps the vampires away.
Keeps the vampires away.
For Halloween. Halloween's coming. Don't want any vampires.
Well, that joke I saw with the vampires at the door going, well, we have pamphlets in that. Of course, people just don't believe in us. How to get invited in, right?
I know. What is it? What is those shows? The what? No, those are zombies, right?
The zombies will come in.
Yeah, zombies and the vampires. But yeah, garlic.
Right. So
wow.
So then you just do that. Cut the top right off, right? Just slice it right off.
And you just kind of flip it up like that and roast it.
And roast it, yeah.
That
and then
is
it goes
so
all nice and dark and brown and unctuous. And you can just eat it out.
I love that.
On
So
bread, while you're watching telly, put it on your crackers.
That would be really helpful for me when I'm doing my
very European.
Guacamole. My guacamole. Because I do, I've got my organic, gluten-free, everything free, like tortilla chips when I get them. And I got to do a shout out to Thrifties because, man, those people take good care of me. They're the best people in the world for delivering and making sure I get my groceries the way they are supposedly not supposed to deliver them. But, you know, of course, they don't go against any rules. They just make sure that I've got what I need the way I need it.
Yeah.
Because they know they've been looking after me since December, right?
Yeah, no, I like Thrifties. I shop there very often.
So when I get them, because I get my groceries delivered about once a week, so that'll be really helpful to know how to do that because it'll be easier for me to mash together in the guacamole because I use the guac as kind of like a dip for me doing stuff. Right. Right, Ellie? Even Ellie says, what's up there?
Yeah.
What's up there? There's Ellie. You can see her head, you guys. She's like, I can smell food.
Throw the tomato around.
Do you know
I don't normally put tomato in the stock.
Yeah, that's fine too, but that's okay.
I just brought it to show you that red vegetables, high in collagen, and all sorts of good things. Right? And don't put them in the fridge.
Red pepper?
Red peppers are great. Okay. Colored peppers.
But don't put tomatoes in the fridge?
Don't put tomatoes in the fridge.
Why?
It converts the flavor in them. There's compounds in them that will be converted by the cold.
Have you heard that tomatoes are bad for arthritis?
I've heard certain acidic vegetables, including tomatoes, can be bad for arthritis. At the same time, tomatoes are good for arthritis if they create collagen. So this is one of those. My problem with medicine, particularly mainstream medicine, but in general, overall, even homeopathic medicine and all of that, is that after hundreds of thousands of years of living on this planet and eating all these things, we still don't equate our diet with our health.
I know.
In terms of that, like, so we get sick, we go and take a pill.
I know.
Right? But we don't know what's made us feel that sick or made us feel unable to fight off bacteria or viruses or organisms. Right. And yet, it's obvious we have to eat the right stuff to be.
Well, that's my journey. Right. And that's
we
with the
still today don't know.
Yeah, with the AgelessThrival journey, like no one can believe I'm not on any pharmaceuticals. I take right now just because of what's going on because things are improving. I do some Advil, but I've got doTERRA's supplements that I take. They're soft gels that also help to build the anti-inflammatory plus the turmeric. But what's interesting has been the journey of finding what foods have to go into my body, like we said with the antivirals, and then calming out my nervous system because of all the inflammation and the low energy levels. And it was just interesting because I was watching something, and I don't suffer from any arthritis. I don't have any cardiac issues or things like that. But I was reading things that it could possibly cause an issue, and I'm thinking, wouldn't you'd have to almost be allergic and somehow for it to be like for that.
Certain people can't take any acidic foods. They can't do this or peppers or any of that. Right. Because if you're not one of those people, then
I'm not so far.
And again, this goes to, I'm just going to step on camera and get some water. This goes again to food as medicine or food as something that makes us healthy.
Right. Well,
we aren't the same. We aren't all the same.
No,
we are all different. We are very, very different. All of that.
And our blood type.
Blood type, genetics, and all of that makes us very different. It makes us able to process things differently. So that's why
it's so individualized.
I can't eat a lot of sugar or a lot of carbohydrates. Because my body doesn't want to okay, it manages the right amount for me to be healthy.
Yeah.
If I eat the right amount.
Right.
If I eat too much,
then it causes
it treats it as a toxin.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So your body will treat things in 3 ways. Is it useful?
Yeah.
Is it just regular waste?
Yeah.
Or is it a toxin?
Well, and I mean, sugar has been it's been kept such a secret as really what a toxin it is. And
Well, it's a money thing, right?
I think I've told you with my dad. You know, my dad didn't have cholesterol. He didn't have high blood pressure, but he was obese.
Right.
He ate a lot of candy. Like, he had a candy shack. And of course, we never thought about it, like sugar, but I mean, I was an athlete running all this time. I'm super slim, like all of these things. So it never affected me, and I never ate that much candy. That's what ended up, now that I know, that's what killed my dad.
Right.
Like he had 1 heart attack, and then they didn't diagnose him again properly and had another one. But what happened was, when he wasn't exercising, he had open heart surgery. They found an infarction. He had silent ischemia. And the second time, they should have known, but they didn't. But what had happened was he'd lost all this weight, but he'd started eating all the candy again. And it the sugar just completely, blew out his cardiovascular. He's only 68 years old when he just didn't wake up one morning. And it was a heart attack, the second heart attack from the sugar. And so, but we've only recently discovered
how toxic sugar is.
How toxic it is, and how it's been thrown in everything we eat.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And I have to say, I don't do paleo diets.
Right.
I don't believe that we should go back in time to 10,000 years ago. But kudos to people who do paleo, because that's kind of one of the dietary areas that show the world how toxic sugar is.
Yeah.
By stepping back to our original diet, right, they were saying, well, we're not eating a lot of processed, highly refined sugars, and we're suddenly feeling a lot healthier, and we're living longer, and our blood test results coming back great, all that, right? So, the difficulty I have with paleo is that it's regressive.
Yeah.
In other words, we're going to eat stuff that's regressive, or what have you, right?
Right.
Never touch a slice of bread.
Right.
I don't like anything that's too militant, right? Or extremist, right?
Because, like I had dinner last night and I had their pumpkin pie and brought one home, and that would have had gluten in it and probably.
Well, exactly. There you go, right?
But it's very rare that I do that. Oh, and I had a chocolate milkshake, which is dairy, which is bad. But you know what? My daughter said, well, why don't we split it? And I said, no, I'm having the full milkshake because I won't have one again.
And you pay the price for it.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's like, I'm not having it again.
Last weekend, I did a gig up in the Highlands with some friends, right? Very socially distanced gig, right? We could get close together. There were only 9 girlfriends having a party together. I don't know Claudia down the road, right?
Yeah.
Right. It was her birthday.
Yeah.
So I did this gig. We have a beautiful, large, fancy kitchen and all that. And we did. I was starving, and they said, "Well, and Brooklyn, then I will have a beer." Now I'm not allergic to any of this stuff, right? So I don't cut it out completely.
Right.
I have a little bit of bread or a little bit of gluten, nothing or something, or whatever. So I had a beer. And I got home and I was like, well, I'm still starving. I haven't been able to eat anything while I was serving everyone else food, right? So I'm gonna have I'll have the leftover lasagna that they had, right? Full gluten, chopped down half. Didn't think any of it. Next day I was feeling a little offish. I'm like, I'm a bit lethargic in that today. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. Get to my father-in-law's house and he's having a birthday party for Katie, it's her birthday. Right. So I'll have another beer. As soon as that beer hit my stomach, that was me done. I was like, I'm done. Yeah. I had to run away. Yeah. And I paid the price for it. But it was because all that overload of those particular glutens that were in me, right, were just not. Yeah. My body doesn't process that stuff so well anymore. Doesn't care for it. And I'm really careful. So I'm very strict, but I let myself have those little treats now and again because I think I deserve it. Right. Like the chocolate milkshake was like, and what was funny is that Jen goes, well, no, and the girl goes, well, I'm going to make a super big milkshake
So then you can have your whole milk chicken in the glass, so there'll be enough for your daughter. And of course, Vita had her little mini one. Right. Jennifer, the girl comes over with my thing, and she shows me, and Jennifer looks and goes, her eyes go like this, and I said, yeah, that's almost like true milkshakes. But it doesn't, if I have a little bit, once in a very blue moon, it doesn't bother me, and it doesn't feed anything. Right. Because then I knock it out, then I do my antivirals again, like my foods. And people need to understand antiviral foods and how they work. Right. Like onions and the garlic and potatoes.
Can you do that temporarily?
What?
Do an antiviral diet for a short period of time and then go back to your regular diet?
I really like my diet.
Not you personally. I mean, generally speaking, is it doable?
Yes.
Can people do it? Say,
yes.
Say,
yes.
You know,
yes.
I want to go.
You could. Yes, you could. But because of COVID, and because of all the other viral components that are out there, if you really love, and it's really not, I mean, there's gluten-free, dairy-free breads. There are, gluten-free, sugar-free, egg-free cookies. Yep. There are so many things today that you can substitute in that will not impede and won't feed them. Right. But you could just go on an antiviral protocol for a while and then pick it up. But if you started eating eggs again, then you want to check and make sure that you're not feeding something, right? Because you have to be very precise on getting at it. Because my goal with my osteopath was, I don't want any viruses that shouldn't be there, right? Like, not that viruses are supposed to be in there. But given what we know with the novel viruses, with the cold viruses, how I do things, if it was getting in, it'd be knocked right out. If you got it, it's knocked out because it can't stay in my body because there's nothing feeding it.
Right. So, like for me, for example, I drink Spartan.
What's that?
Diet soda.
Yeah.
Because I'm low carb, and I don't take carbs, I usually have a diet soda, which is Spartan. The Spartan tends to really have it kind of bugs messes with your gut bacteria. Right. So every now and then I have to pinch off it and read healthy. Now, healthy gut bacteria, the two best ways is pickled.
Pickles.
Right. Really? Pickled and sauerkraut. But the refrigeratable kind, not the shelf kind. That's the kind that has to be on a fridge.
What are refrigerated pickles?
Strubs is refrigerated. Dill pickles.
Right, I'm not a dill pickle. Is there some other kind of pickle you can eat that's not dill?
Well, if it has to be kept in the fridge, those are the kind you will eat. Usually vegetable pickle. But
like a cucumber.
Sauerkraut is good. Yeah,
Sweet
cucumber
pickles?
pickle. Yeah. Sweet pickles, but it has to be a refrigerated version, not the one you find on the shelf.
Yeah. Oh.
If it's on the shelf, then it's already been pasteurized.
Oh.
So it has no bacterial.
Oh.
Right. Make your own is the best.
Make your own pickles.
Just put some cabbage in a box, in a crock, right? Put a heavy plate on it that just fits inside it.
Yeah.
Pick up the plate, throw some salt on it, maybe a dash, and then you get mostly salt.
Oh.
Put that on and let it sit.
We should do that sometime and show people how to do that.
We can do that,
Yeah, that'd be really
so
good.
Pickles,
That's the
obviously,
key to everything too.
that's non-dairy, right?
Like keeping my gut healthy.
Kombucha.
Yeah, kombucha. Yeah, kombucha is good too. You can do homemade kombucha, can't you?
You can, but then you start getting a SCOBY, and then your SCOBY keeps growing, and then you have to hand it out to your friends, and they all have to just buy it.
So just buy it, yeah.
It's like I grew tomatoes this summer, right?
Yeah.
We saw we had them on the deck there, right? We had all these tomatoes. Man, is that a lot of work.
I know.
So much work for these 3 or 4 parts. They weren't very good flavored tomatoes. Some of them were all right, but most of them tasted very sweet, but without any punch.
Really?
So I was like, well, the ones I buy at the supermarket, the local farmers market, are better. And besides, I'm going to support my local farmers anyway, right?
So that experiment's done.
Yeah, that's over.
Flowers on the deck versus tomatoes.
Going back to flowers. And herbs, actually, I just planted the herbs today.
Did you?
Yeah, in the garden over there, right?
Oh, good. I love herbs.
Speaking of which, if you want me to get you around and about, give me a shout and I'll give you a push about the place.
You'd have to push me.
Yeah, no worries.
Because if I get off the end, they have to kind of get me off because it's too dippy. I can fall right over. We tried that, so you got to push me around.
I haven't got any insurance policies against you. So.
Well, Jenny's dumped me once already. So, and I've got an anti-dump thing on the back thing, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm like, anyway, it's one of these days. The goal now is to get me up in the walker for Christmas.
Right.
And then my daughter goes, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to put a ramp in if we have to because you're not staying at home for Christmas. My other daughters are going, okay, we'll just put you on Zoom. You'll be Zooming with us all day. So it's like COVID, Mom. We had to Zoom on
Well,
COVID.
you're kind of like everyone else right now.
I know.
Stuck with the social distancing, Zooming, and keeping a bubble. There you go.
Oh.
Knox gelatin. Any old gelatin.
Really?
Gelatin,
Yeah,
whatever.
I remember
This
that.
is bone broth in a bag.
Seriously?
It's really all it is. It's collagen. It's collagen. Now, gelatin is usually made, almost always made from animals. It's this type of gelatin, right? You get agar-agar and seaweed-based gelatins, right? They have a very different properties. They work just as well in certain aspects, but they have different properties in that they don't soften a lot of the times when it's warm, which is useful in some aspects, but maybe not in others, right? But all of this, right? These things, each one makes a cup of jello. Jello that you buy, like there's strawberry jello or lime jello and all that, right? It's all collagen. It all comes from bones. Right? The factories that make this collect tons of bone from abattoirs and various other places. And they basically boil it into a liquid and then they it's got zero flavor in it, right?
Why did I forget that? That's really interesting.
All gelatin, like gummies, you buy gummies in the shop. And there's states on it that's vegetarian, they are meat.
Oh wow.
So just so you know, if you are vegetarian or vegan, most gummies, most jellos, as in lime jello, strawberry jello, is made from meat.
But how would you make
most cheeses have rennet in it. So even though other vegetarians eat cheese, cheese is not vegetarian unless it has no rennet in it.
Right, the rennet.
Right.
Okay.
It's definitely not vegan because it's made from animal cow milk.
Right.
But rennet is actually from a gland. The animal gets killed to make rennet to give. You certainly get non-animal rennet now, right?
Right.
That's chemically made.
Oh, that's not good for you though. You don't want chemically made anything.
Again, it depends on the volume and what have you. Your body is amazing.
I know,
it does amazing things, right?
Not
so we know sugar can be a poison, but we also know sugar is something you need, right?
Right.
So whenever you talk about any compound, whatever it is, it's that balance that you need to have within
it
you.
Is. The least amount of chemicals.
Will your body handle it, kick it out? Right, as just regular waste? Will it think of it as a toxin? Which will give you a negative effect, and the body will have to work harder to get rid of it? Or will it use it? That's really it, right? I mean,
still hard on your liver.
Again, the thing is, you have doctors, and we're not doctors, right? So we'd never give anyone medical advice.
No, we cannot do that.
But we can give them culinary advice.
Yes, we can.
Culinary advice is what's healthy food for us, and everybody needs to look at what's healthy food for them.
Exactly.
And remember, everybody is different, so everybody needs to look at the healthy food that is good for them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
We
name
can't
of the
tell
game.
people what to eat.
No, we cannot. We can suggest.
We can suggest this is good for the majority of people.
Exactly,
right?
yes.
And it will have better beneficial effects for some, and less beneficial effects for others. But it depends on what people need. Right?
Exactly. And we've got a vegetarian vegetable base that you can build the broth with collagen in it, which is freaking awesome.
And the problem today is nutrition. Nutritionists. If you ask one nutritionist a question, they'll give you a polar opposite answer to another.
I know.
Right? It's not treated seriously enough as a subject, right? As a niche. They're lovely.
Okay.
People struggle really hard to get nutritionist values in that.
So here's
and
the
then
deal.
they kind of get treated like they're not doctors, right?
Here's the deal with COVID. How many times have you heard them talk about building your gut health and your immunity in order to be able to successfully fight the COVID virus? What do we hear? Hand sanitizers, masks, and social distancing. Now, I'm okay with all of that, but here's what I want.
That's not fighting the virus, that's avoiding the virus.
That's avoiding the virus. What we want to do is build healthy bodies to fight the virus. So positive thinking, the higher the viruses don't like high consciousness, you know.
No.
They're intelligent. They are intelligent things. They know where the unhealthy, lower consciousness, kind of negative things are, and that's where they head. So when you've got a high consciousness and like a higher, you're positive, you're happy, and you've got a healthy gut and your immune system, even if you get it, it's going to help you fight it off better.
Absolutely.
It's going to help you fight it.
Yeah.
And so it drives me nuts about all of this is why aren't they standing up, which goes back to your nutritionists and how they're not trained in it. Why are they not standing up and saying, and yes, we need to get your guts healthy because that is the core level of building your immunity.
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to say about that is that nutritionists aren't respected enough.
Right.
And they aren't given enough credibility, and information to create that unifying front like doctors see there. And that unifying front often is misused in the medical profession where they like refuse to hear anything else.
Yeah.
Which historically has created other issues. But overall, I think a nutritionist, right, should be the first level in a sort of doctorate in nutrition sort of scenario.
I agree.
And we should have a lot more of them.
Yes.
So that we have preventative health.
Yes. Well-care.
Well-care.
Rather than what we do
repairing health issues, right?
Reactive versus
proactive.
Proactive well-care versus reactive. Like we're, at the end of it just drives me crazy.
So this is the stock we just started, right?
Yeah.
We'll take a little longer. So certainly smells pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that's heaven.
So we're gonna put it on the back, and then it's simmer away for like an hour.
Yeah, I don't know why that does that.
It's going way around.
That's my housekeeper puts it back together.
Wow.
She doesn't do it right. She tries because she's putting it in there all the time.
There you go.
Oh, what do you have to?
There you go. Perfect.
Right.
So lid on, and we're gonna turn it down to low.
Okay.
Let it simmer away for about an hour or two, right? You can switch
It can simmer,
Now, if you need me to come down and strain it, I can do that. You can actually leave it until it's cold for a couple of hours.
I'll need you to strain it at some point when it's cooled down because I can't
We'll
lift
put it in a jar.
Yeah.
And you can make anything out of it.
Oh, that would be great.
Pour it over Ellie's
Ellie loves
pickle that she will be very happy.
loves-
It's good for people and humans.
Yeah.
Right? And
She loves it.
although careful, it's got a lot of garlic in it. It's not too much.
Well, she does.
Doggies and garlic, they're timid.
She's on a diet. She gained 10 pounds over COVID.
I noticed that. I was like,
She's
she's looking like a
chunky.
sheep this
She
one.
likes chunky chicken.
Yeah.
You got a little chunkier, didn't you? So she's
But
losing
garlic
weight.
can give dogs a little gas.
Yeah. So we won't give you too much. We'll give you a little bit, but a little bit's healthy for you. So. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like freaking awesome.
That's basically the introduction to learning about collagen. People need to go in and get it themselves, right?
Yeah.
Again, remember though, when we talked about happy, healthy animals, right? Happy animals. We don't know the animals in the
You know what we did do, Jeff?
Right.
We
What?
didn't turn the recording on.
Oh yeah. So it's all live, no recording.
We didn't record it at all. So you know what? We did not.
But we'll do another one.
Well, we're gonna have to. Oh, it is recording. I did record it. No, I did.
There you go. We all recorded. We have it
thank God.
preserved for posterity.
Thank God. My brain was like, I didn't record it. We did. We're good.
Here's
Okay.
Dextera and Terra.
So that's the beginning of our collagen. So
That's
we're good.
the about collagen. That's
Okay, guys.
Everyone
Hallelujah.
can go in and find out.
Here we go. I'm gonna turn off the recording and I'm gonna wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving because
Happy
today
Thanksgiving.
is Thanksgiving and we love you and we will see you soon. Oops. Stop.